So just before the video starts, I wanted to give a quick shout out to what is quite possibly the most apt sponsorship I've ever come across for Vivec. Oftentimes I'll decline, 99.9% of sponsorship deals I come across because I just don't think Raid Shadow Legends is very appropriate for the sort of content on this channel. But I know a lot of you like to fall asleep to these report videos, and that's why I thought these COZYSNUG sleep earbuds from LYTMI really are a match made in heaven for this channel and its viewers. If you're anything like me, you might struggle falling to sleep on your back with conventional earbuds in. I'd always wondered whether there were any designs that facilitated side sleeping without waking up with a perforated eardrum. Not only do these earbuds work wonders for side sleepers, they boast high quality audio, are super lightweight and soft with various different sizes of ear wings to pick and choose from, on top of having 21 hours of charge when using the charging case. So, now you can all quickly and smoothly fall asleep listening to me recount the usual litany of mind-bending, reality-shattering experiences that we all know and love. If you're interested, please check out the link in the description, and don't forget to use the discount code VIVEC for 10% off your order, valid up until the 9th of December. Anyway, we'll crack on with the video now, but be sure to let me know what you thought of the earbuds if you do end up snatching yourself a pair, and thank you to LYTMI for reaching out, I really appreciate it. The Cosmic Joke. Reality as it is. A 5MEO DMT trip report by The Seeker. Posted to EARBUDS.org, November 23rd, 2020. The process facilitated by two experienced guides. 5MEO DMT powder, vaped, in 3 doses using glass vapor genie. T plus 0 hours, 3 mg. 5 minutes, 6 mg. 10 minutes, 12 mg. The 3 mg dose I don't remember anything about. The arc of the 6 mg dose and the 12 mg dose was essentially the same, the symphony described below. After the 6 mg dose I said, "Don't let me forget this. I won't forget this, will I?" It was so incredibly clear, and then it started to scatter, and I feared I might forget it, so I immediately went for the 12 mg dose, which delivered the same experience with infinitely more clarity. In order for the lesson to be received as I received it, it was psychologically necessary to see it as having been orchestrated and delivered by someone, and my ego, once back online, attributed this skill to my guide. I have since realised that of course she did not orchestrate my inner experience, but to absorb it with the impact I did, that step was necessary. The belief that she did it was a bridge to a fuller understanding of what was learned. Backstory that may be relevant. I am an American woman in my 50s, with several kids and a successful career in healthcare. I struggled with addiction as a teenager, overcame that, struggled with more compulsive behaviours and addiction since, but they're mostly in check now. I have a lifetime history of anxiety and tendencies towards depression, with at least 2 prolonged periods of major depression in my life, that thankfully are now resolved. I have no particular trauma history, other than the trauma of being an empathic human within this world. I identified as pagan during my 20s, and as a hippie since I went to my first rainbow gathering at 21. I was raised by atheist, leftist, intellectual parents without any particular spiritual direction or tradition. I've lived with ideals of justice, egalitarianism, and freedom as my guiding principles. My highest values are truth, honesty, love, compassion, and integrity. I've been seeking non-dual awakening most of my adult life now. I began studying meditation with a 10-day Vipassana retreat in my 20s, with a meditation practice that could be described as sporadic at best since that time. I gradually dropped any identification with paganism, aside from deep reverence for the natural world, and would describe myself as a secular Zen Buddhist, sort of, if a label were needed. I've gone on 2 one-week-long silent meditation retreats with Adyashanti in the past 10 years, and I've read every book I can find on the topic of non-dual awakening in that time. I believe in the scientific method and eschew magical thinking in all its forms, and yet I cannot accept materialism as a logical explanation for what is. It makes less and less sense to me the longer I live. I've lately found monistic idealism as described by Bernardo Kastrup to be the most intellectually satisfying explanation for what reality really is. I've been using psychedelics as a tool for understanding reality in earnest for the past 3 years. I've found the most insights from psilocybin, ketamine, and MDMA. I have experiences with LSD, MDA, and NDMT, and various other less interesting drugs though. I was a stoner for years, but I've no interest in marijuana for at least 20 years now. I have read every book and article I can find on 5-MeO or DMT in the past 3 years, and have been seeking this molecule like the Holy Grail in that time. It has taken 3 years to come to me. This was the correct time frame. It never was up to me. I've read many awakening experiences and never had one of my own, not really. My deepest, most secret, and shameful fear has always been that I am deluding myself, and that perhaps there is actually no truth that can be known, or that I am for some reason not worthy or capable of knowing it. My terror was that I might die without ever having been absolutely sure of anything at all. The symphony in movements. The deconstruction. As the smoke leaves my lungs and gentle fractals whirl extremely rapidly, awareness focuses into a tunnel heading towards a point. I've been training for this my whole life, is my last thought in words. Every life experience is instantly seen as relevant and then discarded, peeled away, released, into a gem of meaning consolidated into the elegant unified path of understanding unfolding within. All identities released, all self-inquiry absorbed, all non-dual intellectual understandings metabolized, all meditation experiences understood, all psychedelic lessons integrated. The pinnacle. Everything falls away. The sum total of my life's quest is balanced on a tiny, silent pinnacle, and there is no further path ahead. A feeling of uncertainty, apprehension, nowhere to turn. What now? A pause. The void. The pinnacle vanishes. The gem of the sum total of my life's quest silently goes poof. There is nothing. There is nothing. There is nothing. The sensation is abject. Utterly lost. No one to orient and no experience to orient to. Drifting, writhing with utter helplessness in the void. There is no coming back from here. It was nothing all along. This is not a metaphor. This is the absolute reality. There is no one to have an emotion, but if there were, it would be one of existential horror and futility and ultimate aloneness. The gathering of energy. From the writhing, helpless drifting, energy begins to swirl and grow and gather. Colours of deep blue and purple, like liquid metal, swirling in a cosmic whirlpool. Pressure growing. All the energies of the void collapsing together with incredible velocity and infinite force. There is something again. That which would orient tries to find the orientation to the rising energy as it grows to infinite intensity and focuses into a singular point. The singularity, the realization, the ultimate irreversible surrender. The energy collapses into a singularity containing all of space and time and awareness. Absolute pure reality as it is. Utter certainty. The I am. Surprise, shock, realization, ecstasy, as the single pure shining high note of reality as it is shatters the person, destroys it with joy, with no turning back. This is all that matters. This is all that is. Transcendent understanding. Absolute certainty. All that once seemed important is moot here at the end of the story. Everywhere and nowhere. The understanding is embraced with urgency and abandon. The obviousness is overwhelming. At the core of reality there is ultimate certainty. This is worth every sacrifice, and surrender is total. The supernova of reality as it is. The singularity gives birth to reality as it is, in a supernova, a bit like a cosmic orgasm. Reality as it is without orientation. All prior concepts are seen as pure illusion, laughable, hilarious in fact. The idea that a person's ideas about reality have any relevance to anything at all is fucking hilarious. The idea that there is something to be attained is fucking hilarious as well. I get it. The full force of the joke hits me now. The mastery of the setup, destruction, and revelation hits me. My guide is holding my hand, smiling a smile that confirms to me at the deepest level what I already know, which is this truth can never be unseen. Nothing has ever mattered, and that this is the cosmic joke, and it was masterful. Not a step was missed, not a motion wasted in the execution of this lesson. The impact has destroyed me, and I am so grateful, and I just say to her fiercely, that was perfect. You are a master. You're a fucking artist. the fall and the impossibility of anything mattering. Identity returns and, well, it is meaningless. It is hilarious. The idea that the only true thing in existence once seen could be forgotten is hilarious. Everything is hilarious. I laugh and laugh and laugh. Every idea that occurs to me is just the funniest thing ever. The idea that anything could ever have mattered is stupidly funny. I laugh and writhe and kick my feet. I feel totally naked now. All lies and self-deception are destroyed because, well, who would lie to whom? How would we ever fake anything? Nothing matters. I am reborn into truth. I am liberated. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, I say. Ideas and concepts are drifting tatters around me, and I understand why people act so unpredictable and crazy after they smoke 5-MeO. It's impossible to self-censor. There is no one to censor. It cannot be done. The I that emerges is not the one who went in now. Nothing will ever be the same, and this is clear. I laugh and laugh and laugh for half an hour at least, my beloveds looking on with love and questions and a bit of apprehension in their eyes. I can't tell them. This cannot be told. Only my guide knows now. You are a fucking artist, you know, I tell her again, needing to express this in some way. I've never had a psychedelic experience like that. That's what I've been looking for. Thank you. Thank you. I'm now done. I never need to have another experience in my life. This was it. The after effects. The effect of this destruction has been overwhelming. I was deeply blessed to have an amazing community of chosen family with me on this retreat, who have held me as I laugh and cry and am unable to cook or eat or even hold a conversation. There are layers upon layers of understandings unfolding. There has been joy and fear and ongoing reactivations in which the sensation of part of the experience overcomes me. This has occurred in others as well. This molecule is not a drug. I do not recommend this for partiers, thrill seekers, or mildly curious psychonauts. I'm only at the beginning of this process, 1 week in. Not sure how I'll be able to function at work tomorrow for my first day back since this experience. Everything has changed in ways I just cannot understand. But there is no undoing this, and this is what I wanted. I cannot stress enough how absolutely important it is for physical, psychological, and spiritual safety to do this with an experienced guide and a strong, trusted container of supportive people to hold you afterwards. I do moderate to high dose psychedelics in my bedroom with my partner on the regular. One of the things I shouted hysterically in my uncontrolled laughter at the end of this experience was, "Imagine doing this alone in your bedroom." Gales of laughter. This one is real. I have long believed that the quote below is true. I hoped, I trusted, but now I know. Knowing is different. You live in illusion and the appearance of things. There is a reality. You are that reality. When you understand this, you see that you are nothing, and being nothing, you are everything. That is all. Kalu Rinpoche. This is a classic 5-MeO DMT experience through and through. Really just touches upon all of the most commonly experienced effects: unity and interconnectedness, euphoria, ego loss, void. So I'm going to read you the Psychonaut Wiki article on 5-MeO DMT. I think I'm going to continue this for all the substances, even though a lot of you already know about them. I bet there's some people who actually have never really heard someone describe what this actual substance is. They might know it vaguely, conceptually, but yeah, here's some fascinating information. 5-methoxy-NN-dimethyltryptamine is a naturally occurring psychedelic substance of the tryptamine class. It is structurally related to DMT and 5-HO-DMT, bufotenin, and is reputed to produce the most powerful and intense psychedelic states within the entire class. 5-MeO DMT produces its effects by binding to serotonin receptors in the brain, although the precise mechanism is not known. It is distributed in a wide variety of plant species, as well as in the venom of a single toad species, Incilius alvarius. Although little is known about its history, it is believed to have been used in South American shamanic practices for centuries. In modern times, both the extracts of the toad venom as well as synthetic powder form are used, primarily via vaporization. The synthesis and psychoactive effects were documented by Alexander Shulgin in his 1997 book Tikal, Tryptamines I Have Known and Loved. Recent studies have demonstrated its capacity to induce mystical experiences, and there is growing interest in exploring its potential therapeutic effects. Subjective effects include unity and interconnectedness, time distortion, conceptual thinking, euphoria, and ego loss. 5-MeO-DMT's psychedelic effects are best compared to DMT in terms of intensity, extreme, and duration, very short. However, it generally lacks a visual geometry component and tends to produce more physical euphoria as well as even stronger transpersonal or mystical-like effects, for example ego loss, than DMT. Additionally, both mental and physical side effects are reported to occur more often with 5-MeO-DMT. These effects include significant anxiety and dysphoria, as well as nausea and bodily discomfort, and are often described as challenging and overwhelming. Unlike DMT, which has been shown to possess minimal physiological toxicity, 5-MeO-DMT's safety profile is much less established. A small number of deaths have been linked to its use and appear to be a result of physical overdose. Some reports suggest it may cause serotonin toxicity when combined with certain substances such as MAOIs. It may also have cardiotoxic properties. Anecdotal reports suggest that this substance is only suitable for users with extensive experience with powerful psychedelics, e.g. DMT, ayahuasca, and DPT, and trained in their safe use. It is highly advised to use harm reduction practices if using this substance. So, nice little overview there of what 5-MeO-DMT really is. So, oftentimes it's referred to as the God molecule, toad, jaguar. I've never heard anyone call it jaguar, but according to Psychonaut Wiki, that's a common name for it. Let me know if you call it jaguar within your own psychedelic circles. So, I've never tried 5-MeO-DMT. I've tried DMT, I think 5 times now. All varying different experiences. Never had a breakthrough. Obviously, for me, I find it super fascinating reading about DMT and 5-MeO-DMT and the more powerful psychedelics, because I've never actually tried them, and I know that I'm not ready. I'm very honest with myself in terms of my what I can handle in regards to the psychedelic experience. And right now, at my age, the ripe old age of 27. I have too much stuff in my life I need to work out, more shadow work to be done, more survival needs to take care of, psychological stuff to work out. And like the person said at the end of the trip report, it's very important to have a physical, psychological, and spiritual safety net in order to really get the most out of this substance, and also to prevent yourself from being traumatized, because there is a very real risk of doing more harm to yourself than good, even though the experience is commonly described as the moment your life has been leading up to, realizing yourself as the universe, as love, as God, whatever you want to call it. But this doesn't mean your ego, your human mind is going to let go and accept this and embrace it. And it's like, I know deep down that this is touching upon the truth. Obviously some people would say, oh, how do you know the truth? Why would you make claims to the absolute? I mean, I'm not claiming it. I would never say to someone that, yeah, this is the truth, because I've not directly experienced it. This is just my own insights from experience. I mean, I've had super deep mystical experiences on 4-ACO-DMT and LSD and mushrooms, and I've had a glimpse of what 5-MeO-DMT gives you directly, cutting through all the other sort of fluff that other psychedelics can bring about in experience, because there is a bit of fluff, there is a bit of filler sometimes with the other psychedelics. 5-MeO-DMT, the most fascinating thing about it is it just gets straight to the core. Yeah, it filters out all of the extra baggage, and it's just right, this is it, this is reality, this is consciousness. And it's already mind-blowing enough for me to have these transcendent experiences on 4ASO DMT, where I got a very good glimpse of what the 5-MeO DMT state could be in that experience, where I became a galaxy. Just literally was not a human anymore. It was just like a galactic energy field. But I've never had the singularity experience of just becoming void, of becoming nothingness. I mean, even imagining that now, just using my human ego mind, I know that I'm not ready. I would love to explore this, but later in life, when I've sorted my shit out, I think some people who jump into 5-MeO DMT do have pure intentions, but sometimes it goes wrong for them because they undermine the profundity of what they're going to experience, and this can cause some conflict between the beauty of the experience and your own inner resistance. And then this disparity is what often causes bad trips with 5-MeO DMT. And also, I think it was good that I read out the Psychonaut wiki overview, because it is true that there is some very well-known physical downsides to taking 5-MeO DMT. It does put a lot of stress on your body and your brain. It's some psychonauts are just geared up to be explorers of consciousness and take all the risks that come with that. But if you value your health, or maybe you have dodgy health, maybe probably not the best idea, unless you literally are born to do this stuff and you are put here to just explore consciousness through the human lens. Everyone's on their own different path, aren't they? I mean, luckily for me, I have relatively good health. The worst thing about me is that I'm a fucking insomniac, and which in a sense, I have every other aspect of my life is super healthy, great diet, exercise, and yada yada. But unfortunately, probably one of the most important aspects of your health is proper sleep. And my God, my energy levels are so deflated. I'm not as articulate as I used to be. Got a lot of brain fog. It's quite tragic, really, and it's getting worse as well. Probably should go to the doctors. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. It's getting, obviously, this channel isn't about me, but I thought it'd be quite interesting just to tell you about my own health struggles. Honestly, if I wasn't healthy in every other aspect of my life, I'd probably be fucked. So, lucky for me, I've got all the rest of my life in balance, but the imbalance of sleep cascades across every other area of my life and health, and sort of diminishes it in a sense. Rip. But just relating that to 5-MeO DMT, maybe if I took 5-MeO DMT now with my sleeping problems, it could exacerbate them even more. I've heard a lot of people getting tinnitus, or tinnitus, however you say it. I mean, I already have tinnitus in my left ear. I call it tinnitus. I don't know where it came from. It literally just came out of nowhere. It's been driving me a bit mad, and also affecting my sleep. So the fact that 5-MeO DMT can bring on tinnitus and some HPPD symptoms for some people is a bit daunting, but this is the risk you take when ingesting these super powerful chemicals. Every time you take a drug, and if you take it for a very long time, it's not just producing an experience, it's also changing your brain chemistry and brain structure. And this is why when people use substances for a very long time, it can change them as a person, because underlying that on sort of a biological level is that the brain structure has literally changed. I've met people who've got hooked on certain things, every type of substance, or even just like alcohol or anything like sex and anything that produces some form of effect and in the brain. After you do it for a while, it changes your personality for better or worse. But yeah, definitely something I'd like to do at one point. I would like to finally figure out what is going on instead of conceptualizing it. It's like I know it deep down, but what's interesting about that is the further I validate it conceptually, through study and research and integrating my past experiences, the ego seems to get more terrified of it. But then when I tap into my I amness, the thing beyond the Vivec avatar, the separate self, I can literally feel that love. Like, I have this really weird feeling, right, where I go for a nap during the day, and I just feel like infinitely connected to everything in life, and I get like this, you could possibly call it like this pulsating energy in my heart, or my heart chakra, or whatever you want to call it, and I just can't stop thinking about, oh my god, literally this is an infinite thing I'm inside of. And I'm not just inside of it, I am it. I'm as much inside of it as I am it in its totality. And this oftentimes stops me from having a nap, so you win some, you lose some. But then, when I go sink back into the egoic self, it then like twists it into something to be feared, and to run away from. But then I tap back into the I amness at some point later in the day, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, really, it really is just interlinked cells, interlinked. It's all just love interlinked in this dance, this weave of consciousness. Yeah, it's really beautiful. But then, quickly go back into ego mode. So clearly, for me, this indicates that I have a lot more work to do before I'm ready for this sort of stuff. And for now, let's just enjoy life as it is, for the simple human being that is me. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and hope you're getting some value from the commentary. I know that I really enjoy doing it. So, anyway, thanks for watching, listening, intuiting this telepathically, or whatever floats your boat. And don't forget to check out the Discord, because I've not actually plugged it in a while. I just leave it in the description for people to stumble upon. I sort of enjoy the fact that it's just hidden there, and it's also on my channel, on the About page in the links. I mean, many people have found it already. There's almost like 1,000 members. And obviously talk about it on my Instagram quite a lot. Don't forget to check me out on there as well for further spiritual insights and behind the scenes look into sort of my own life, if you find that interesting. You want to check out where I'm going in the next few days. I'm going to the Alex Gray exhibition in London with Space Nymph. So that should be fascinating. Very interesting to meet her, a fellow psychedelic content creator, and also check out Alex Gray's artwork. It's going to be crazy, and we'll provide some amazing visuals for the channel. And I'll probably feature just a more general vlog on my second channel, Vivec Unmasked. All of this is in the description, by the way. Even though I know people in the modern world don't read descriptions anymore, or at least that's what I seem to gather. I love a good YouTube description. Me really gets the dopamine receptors fired up. But yep, get on the Discord. We all talk about this sort of stuff. There's so many different channels regarding every aspect of life. It really is just a haven for psychonauts. There's lots of great intellectual discussion regarding politics and film, art, food, just general chit-chat. And there's lots of very funny, wise, insightful, and jovial characters on there. So if you feel like you'd fit in, definitely jump on it. We'd love to have you on there. But anyway, I've gone on for far too long. Hasta la vista, baby.